Good evening, good afternoon, wherever you find yourself in this weird, wild, wacky world of ours, and welcome to the exciting installment of Doubts in Dublin, Mage Edition. This evening's scene will be set at the entranceway to the Grand Occult Library of Dublin, which is located, as everyone knows, in McFlanagan's Pub, located just outside the centre of Dublin City proper. It's one of those fine, quaint little Irish pubs that has live music and a fire blazing in the hearth that'll serve you beef stew and ask absolutely no questions about your actual age, as opposed to the age on the fake ID you give them, because let's face it, we were all drinking whiskey with our mother's milk. It's good for you. Disagree? I'll fight you outside. It's fine. I am allowed to perpetuate the negative stereotypes of my race. With that in mind, because there are several people here who have not been inside the library before. Lottie, congratulations. You have to do what we will lovingly refer to as orientation duty, essentially telling them the do's and the don'ts and bringing them inside. It's at least 10 points to Hufflepuff. So we will go down our list of friendly faces who will stride into the bar in order to try and find the occult library. It's public knowledge that it's here, so no need to worry about that. But they will meet Lottie, etc. So in that case, we shall have Heather. You will go first.
Oh, okay. Saying that this is a bar, and the past couple days have been kind of rough. Ashley will make her way into the bar, sit, order herself something to drink, and then proceed to look around for Siren or someone else who could help her get into the library.
There's a wild Lottie. Look at her being all wild and Lottie-shaped. Hang on. Maya! We'll get back to it. Next on my list is Kim. Kim.
Hello.
You are next to do the intro thing, my dear.
It's a Minnie. She's hobbling along with her broke foot.
I do enjoy the fact the character has a broken foot. I don't know why. It amuses the crap out of me.
Yeah, she's just kind of hobbling along. Half her movement speed. Is this the flaw?
The barmaid, the barwoman who's never seen you before, she looks at one point. She probably was at one point an attractive woman. However, that was probably 15, 20 years ago. Hello.
Can anyone hear me?
Yes.
Duh.
Can you guys? Okay, great. Sorry, I just had to duck that in.
No worries. She will look at you up and down. As I said, she would probably have been attractive 20 years ago. She has that face that looks as if it was at one time a stunner. However, now age has done what age does. But she'll look you up and down and she'll say, I haven't seen you around here before.
I mean, yeah, it's the first time I visited the bar. So I would be really worried, actually, if you have seen my face before.
I actually have no witty counter for that. Well done. What can I get you to drink?
Give me your favorite. That isn't... Yeah. Just as long as it's not made of tomatoes.
She will shrug, turn, reclaim a bottle, slam down a shot glass, and pour you a shot of whiskey. Just.
This is gonna be fun. I think I actually had to pull up my cheat, and my computer's probably gonna crash.
You don't need to worry about making a stamina check or anything like that after taking a single shot.
Okay.
But
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
she will hand you a shot.
She shall knock it back. Like the American girl she is, via her college experience.
Excellent. You proceed to pound the shot.
Oh, that's the word for it. My brain isn't working, guys.
Shall there be a wild Lottie?
A wild Lottie will appear in a few moments. Next will be a wild Daniela.
Yes, Daniela carrying some comfort food in her hands. Where they got some wings and fries and also a various assortment of a little bit of Indian food. And she kind of walks in with this, paper bag. Walks inside and just takes a nod towards the girl at the bar who she probably has seen before since she has come to the library at certain points. Correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. She'll actually be like looking around to see if Lottie or anyone familiar is around, but for the most part, she'll just be if she doesn't recognize anyone else here, she'll probably just be heading straight for the library doors, or to where the library is. Find Siren.
You will basically bump into Lottie as she emerges from behind the curtain into the small private enclave wherein lies the picture. Bump.
Lottie! Sorry. Do you want to continue?
Yeah, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
It was okay. Get the picture for Siren's entrance. Lottie will appear to Daniela, and she's not as normally put together as she usually is. Normally, Lottie's clean cut, good makeup, hair not too messy. Right now, she's not wearing her sunglasses. She's got some scratch marks on her cheek and a bruise on the other side of her face, right where her zygomatic process is of her cheekbone. Her hair is in a really high, messy bun. Normal, pristine white jacket, which she doesn't normally wear. It's not dirt. That's blood. Yeah, that's blood. There's blood. But she seems really chill, like she's just gotten off a really awesome high. But it's not. Wait. Hi.
She'll kind of, Daniel look over. She's in her same usual attire, although she seems a little bit. Like usually you see her, she kind of has her eyes a little bit, squinting, and she usually just kind of seems like she's always like her mind is always somewhere else. But for the first time, she kind of has this demeanor as if she's like pretty clear-headed. And she looks towards you, Lottie, and goes, "Oh, how are you, Lottie?"
She's also wearing a very, very, very attractive necklace that has a single black stone affixed in it. Continue.
Who?
To be fair, can I be fair, Evan? She probably would have that like underneath her clothing, like she wouldn't show that off.
Oh no, because it's kind of hard. Okay, it's kind of hard to hide. I should have been more exact with this. It's a choker, so it actually wraps around your neck and kind of fastens at the back.
I see. Okay, fair enough.
Cool.
That's it. You do see this. And she'll just kind of look you up and down. Seems like you had a long day or something.
Ooh, it's about to get longer.
Oh, how so?
I'm guessing you heard Siren, right?
Well, I heard he was, better and around, so I thought I'd come by and offer some comfort food.
Then you'll see.
Okay.
Meantime,
be right?
I'll be one way or another. Nothing to do until then. With the exception of picking up 2 new bodies. One I'm particularly excited to meet, she'll say with clenched teeth.
She kind of just has this look of like, okay.
He's going to lean over towards the lady behind the counter. What are they talking about by that curtain over there?
I'll tell you what I tell all the people who ask about the curtain over there, love. Fucked if I know.
I don't know who that is.
Oh. Right. Well. By the way, on a side note, Ashley, you will see a wild Lottie. And a
Cool.
wild Daniela.
She'll give a wave.
Hi there.
To who?
To the people she hasn't met before.
Oh, okay. Well, is she interrupting their conversation?
No, just waving and probably still. She hasn't really put this glass down since she started drinking it.
Fair enough. But she'll look over to you and she'll wave back and look back to Lottie. So, so I guess we're waiting for the other two? Or one more, I should say.
Yeah, I mean, but I'm guessing they were told to come by the curtain, unless Mr. Mams decided to be secretive. That's the keep, if anything. And she'll saunter over towards bartender. Give
Sorry.
a small smile. It's not her normal smile. Hey, I'm looking for 2 new bodies.
Well, it just
Seen them
happens.
around?
I have 2 new bodies right here.
Squint. Oh well, don't care. That person who hasn't stopped drinking since they started drinking looks like they need a new drink, so she puts down her card. Buy him a bottle for me.
Well, that's very generous, young lady. All right, then. She will proceed to ring up the transaction, and we'll hand you back your card. But yes, I believe these 2 are the ones you're looking for in that case, Miss Lottie.
Thanks.
The woman smiles knowingly.
Thank you, hon. Can I put my bag back here? I really can't take this with me inside.
Yes, of course you can. Don't worry about it.
Thanks. Bring her bag over. She'll look over to the girl who generously bought a bottle for another person. Hey, question, kid. You looking here for some interesting knowledge?
I mean, that's not typically why I walk into a bar, but sure.
Noses are up and down. What I mean to say is, were you told to come here to look for someone? Can you guys hear me?
I heard you.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, my computer's lagging. It's difficult to
Oh,
hear.
okay. Lottie basically asked if she was waiting for someone to pick her up, in a sense. Like if she was waiting for someone.
Nope. The bartender mentioned a weird name, but
That's odd. He said I'd be picking up too. Well, alright. Sorry to bother you, kid. Lottie will look for the other person that was gestured the bartender. The bartender's not normally wrong. Just, apparently this kid isn't the person Lottie's supposed to pick up. Alright then. So,
she will casually cough. It's like
hey, you're not normally wrong, but like she don't know.
oh, she knows. She's just playing coy with you.
Normally I'm into games, but
It's also the fact you're not necessarily asking her the right questions.
All right. Leans over again. Hey, kid. Want to see a library?
Want to see a
Honestly,
dead body?
Oh, sorry. Did the bartender ask her if she wanted to see a dead body?
No,
No.
that was Evan being sarcastic because Lottie leaned in and said, "You want to see a library?" And my response was, "Hey kid, you want to see a dead body?"
She said it in the same way, though. The inflections of library and dead body. Hey, kid, do you want to see a library?
Hey kids, want some knowledge?
Right?
Can I take booze to the library?
I mean, of course, as long as you don't spill it everywhere.
Give me a bottle. It's gonna be
Say
some
please. Say please.
There will be a shrug,
She's very
and
nice.
she will shrug and indeed give you a bottle as she scans your card again.
All right. I don't know what your name is. Hi, I'm Lottie.
Minnie.
Nice to meet you, Minnie. Can you do me a favor, Minnie?
Hmm?
Can you go over there? My friend Daniela is standing by the curtain. You're not the only.
Yeah.
Don't worry, she won't buy it unless you ask. Cool. We're gonna go to the library quick. We'll have a road trip.
Over there.
Lottie will make her way towards the other individual that bartender gestured towards. Kind of not sit next to her, not sit near her, but just stand by her. Hello.
Hello.
Perchance, are you waiting for someone?
Yes, I am.
Hey, Evan, would Siren have told you the names of the people she's looking for?
No.
No? Alright. Are you waiting for someone to lead you on to an interesting adventure? Knowledge. Lots of knowledge. Books. Whole shebang.
I guess you could put it that way. I'm actually waiting for someone to, show me to the whoo that's in here.
Yeah. Great. Woof is definitely the best term I've heard for it. Come on, grab your shit. Let's go. Oh,
So,
leave anything obtrusive at the bar.
While this has happened, Minnie walks up to the person standing by the curtain. This isn't some kind of weird sex cult, is it?
She'll kind of look and go, very innocent, very innocently. Not that I'm aware.
Roll manipulation subterfuge.
Wait, do I know?
To
Wait,
roll
do I
that
know?
bullshit.
Am I perfectly aware that it is a sex cult?
Have you met the Cult of Ecstasy?
You've met
I
Lottie.
mean, I've heard of them, and
You've met Lottie.
I've met Lottie, but does that mean I know that they're all about sex?
I'm only
You've
fucking
met
with
Sketch.
you. Don't worry about it.
That is a common perspective on them from the outside.
From a common perspective.
Not that they deter it at all.
Hold on.
Actually, I have to pull up my sheet.
Sorry, guys. I gotta turn on the volume of my voice.
It's cool, dude.
She'll just say, I mean, I've heard that that individuals a part of this group like that sort of thing, but this is mostly a library, as far as I'm aware. She just kind of looks at you, kind of chill and blamely. So what's your name?
Minnie.
Nice to meet you, Minnie. I'm Danielle. And she kind of puts out one of her hands to shake.
She'll shake your hand.
You kind of feel that's warm because she's holding on to a warm bag, and she just kind of shakes and says, "Just waiting on Lottie and another individual, and I guess we're heading inside. I'm guessing you're aware with the capital A."
Now, where was the capital A? That's the first time I heard it said like that. Also, I forgot to tell you guys about my flaw. And sidetrack.
Also, I forgot about a flaw with Danielle too. Some of the lights around her are dimmer around. I'll say, I guess, a 10-foot radius.
Okay, so just so we can kind of boot this on, Lottie, you will reconvene with the people, bringing Ashley, because, you know. You will basically be brought into a small alcove that is just off the main bar, that there is a curtain that is affixed over in order to shield it from the outside view. In here, there are a number of portraits. One of the portraits in particular is rather stunningly lovely. It is a picture of simply a closed door, roughly about 5 feet tall, that can be accessed by stepping up onto the couch that lines that goes along the edge of the booth. Lottie will stand on the couch and rather expertly press a small section of the panel of the Wow, my brain just had a moment there. We'll press a small section of the frame of the picture, at which point you will see the portrait itself begin to shimmer ever so slightly, becoming vaguely translucent, as if it was a water-like substance as opposed to being a solid. And you will simply see Lottie push herself through the portrait.
Danielle probably went through this whole thing, so she got nods to the rest of them and heads on through just like Lottie.
Actually, seeing this will do the same.
So will Minnie.
Okay. As the new people who have not done this before pass through, you feel as if you were stepping through a waterfall for a moment. However, when you emerge on the other side, your clothes are entirely dry. And you will see, standing facing you, this large door, much larger than it was in the picture, standing closed in front of you.
Neato.
Nifty stuff, she says, and she just kind of follows Lottie's lead.
Mm-hmm. As Lottie pushes open the door, you guys will be greeted by the sight of this. Because I really like this picture.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Spreading down away from you, as far as the eye can see, practically, is a massive colonnade of bookshelves. On the wall at the opposite end of the room, there is a stained glass window. The stained glass itself has no image. It is merely multicolored glass, each one of them roughly the same size as a football field, through which light, tinted via the colors of the glass, streams. The smell of books, parchments, and scrolls immediately assails your nostrils. It is that place of quiet contemplation. It is that place where vast amounts of knowledge is stored, that place wherein anything is possibly written. Many secrets lie within this place.
Oh, I like this place. She smiles. Been too long.
It is home.
For those of you who are unaware, you will hear the sound of grating, as almost like rock grating on rock, as from beside the doorway that you have just entered, you see a tiny crystal. You see a tiny crystal golem pop its head up, and it will basically say to you in a very grindy voice, "Good afternoon. May I see your library cards?"
Did Danielle get a library card?
Yeah.
Of course,
If you've
Danielle
been here
has
before,
a
you have a library card.
Danielle show her library card.
He would look at the library card. This is acceptable. Welcome to the library, Miss Griffith. We hope you enjoy your stay.
Thanks. By the way, I didn't catch your name the last time.
I am the docent.
The Docent. I'll keep that in mind, Mr. Docent.
Thank you.
Dear Docent, these two behind me with us are new. They will be getting their library cards today.
Oh, I actually got mine a little while ago, and Ashley will pull out a library card and hand it to the docent.
Oh, interesting.
The docent will look it up and down, and he will say, "Very good. Welcome to the library, Miss Rashida."
Thank you.
Guess it's just down to. It's just down to Minnie to get her card. And she should be good.
I'll set you up with one once we talk with Siren.
In that case, have a pleasant evening. He will then proceed to kind of settle back. Oh, sorry, what?
Before you go, Mr. Dawson, do you happen to know where Siren is? Thought I'd say hello and check in on him.
He is currently in his office.
All right. Thank you. And she just gives a nod to him.
Excellent. He will kind of settle back down. You're not sure if he becomes, if he powers off or becomes inactive, but he just kind of stays there, like he doesn't move.
Lottie will give a warm smile to the docent as he powers down, and then kind of gesture for Mr. Shida and Minnie to follow her. Danielle, if you're looking for a Siren, we're going that way.
Yep, I'm following.
Boogie on down, come on. And she'll lead the way towards Siren's office.
By the way, Lottie, fun fact, there is only one, and you're probably the only PC who knows this. There's actually only one way to find Siren's office.
Mm-hmm.
You have to become entirely lost.
Yep. That's exactly why she said boogie on down. Just walking up and down, cross the ways. They make 3 circles around.
As you walk, you will see similar small golems made of gemstones to the docent, who are just kind of puttering around, filing books and putting things back in order. Basically, you see them maneuvering themselves to, put books on shelves, etc. Some of them are much larger, some of them are much smaller. You also see a number of them doing things like sweeping the floor, etc. Until you will come to well, first of all, you guys will turn a corner and you will see a fully grown apple tree just randomly sitting there. It's sitting in the center of a cluster of bookshelves.
I'm guessing this is what we're looking for. She'll kind of look to Lottie.
Yes and no.
Do we gotta climb it?
Well, in a sense. Climb around it. Just be careful with the trunk.
How big is the apple tree?
It's a fully matured apple tree, so it stands probably about 16, 17 feet high. It currently has bright red fruit and green fruit.
Is it the tree that I think it is?
Yes, it's the tree Siren grew for you.
Huh?
Patting it fondly. We're just going to walk around it. Don't step on the roots.
As you guys step around it, you will find yourself at the opening of a small ovular expanse, basically almost like a clearing of the bookshelves, in the center of which you will see a desk, and a man is indeed seated behind the desk. You will see the fact that he has his eyes closed, and there are 3 quills that are working at once, writing 3 separate letters in front of him. When he hears you coming, his eyes will flick open, and you'll see all of the quills kind of just gently waft onto the paper.
Hello, Master Siren.
My apologies. Yes. Anyway, It is good to see you all. Please come in.
Hope we didn't interrupt anything.
Nothing important.
She'll nod.
For the record, for those of you who've never met Siren, he is incredibly beautiful. He has appearance 4 with the appearance spec angelic. However, he looks very sick in the sense that like his skin is incredibly tight to his bones. He has long golden hair, and you see his eyes have very, very deep bags underneath them, as if he doesn't sleep much. On his hands and his arms, all the way up his forearms, are covered in blood-stained bandages. For the record, Lossie, you know this because you help him do it. You change the bandages every day. It's just his wounds won't stop bleeding.
Mm-hmm.
But he will look up and he will say, "Please come in, sit down."
Mm-hmm. Just to note, Evan.
Mhm.
This is the first time Lottie's visited Siren since she met him that she doesn't come bearing any food.
Somebody else comes bearing food, though.
Well, I do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I know. That's why I'm pointing it out.
Someone else did, but Lottie is, nope, distinctly not covered in sugar, but instead blood.
Wait, she was covered in blood this whole time? Oh, wait, that's right. Yeah. Fair enough. Daniel's just gonna say, well, I heard you came back from, well, after what happened to you at the bar. Thought I'd get you some comfort food. And I'm not sure what you liked, so I just got a little bit of everything. She just places this one pretty big paper bag on wherever it's I guess because I'm guessing there are chairs around his desk. There are chairs around his desk.
There are very comfortable armchairs around his desk. You'll notice he himself is seated in a wheelchair.
So she'll just respectfully, place the bag on top of his desk where it won't obstruct anything that's on it.
Minnie's just kind of looking around. Dude, I have no clue who you are.
Oh, that's quite all right, Miss Minnie. It is very nice. And yes, he does name you without knowing you. It is very nice to meet you. Or should I be official? I'm not exactly sure how official I should be.
Be as you always are, Master Siren.
This is reasonable advice. Thank you. He'll kind of half close his eyes and he'll say, all right, 1 second. He'll say, "It is a pleasure to make your..." How on earth do you pronounce Minnie's actual last name? Is it Karma? Karmi?
It's kind of like caramel, but without the L.
It is a pleasure to make your acquaintance, Minerva Karmi Bonifatius.
Quite the name you got there.
Oh yeah, he only said like half of it.
I felt that would be sufficient. My name is Siren. Some people call me Master Siren, but please just call me Siren.
I guess he's cool. I guess he's cool like that. Then I'll just comment. She'll wink at him.
He'll look back, and he looks very tired when he says this. And don't sense there's mirth in what he's saying, and he'll say, "Many of my fellows, when they reach my stage, cease seeing humanity as a valuable asset and see themselves only as high and mighty. I just think of myself as Siren."
That's good on you.
You mean like a siren who drags men to their death in the middle of the ocean, or?
He contemplates that, and he'll say, It was a name that I chose to go by when my birth name no longer felt that it was suited to me.
In a matter of speaking, Siren does lure you, but it is not to your death. It is nothing obtrusive. It's to helping find yourself. Commonplace. Even if you don't always agree.
It is very agreeable to see you again, Miss Rashida. I hope that you have found your place in the city.
I have a little apartment, yes.
Excellent. I apologize. My other apprentice, Mr. Modus, is oftentimes very modus.
He is his own man doing his own thing, and I can respect that.
Who's Modus?
He contemplates.
One of the newer bodies.
Ah,
I've only seen his paperwork, never met him.
He is a very old friend who wears a very new face.
Interesting.
So, Master Siren, shall I serve the treats?
Please. Thank you.
as Lottie's doing that, she'll kind of look to Master Siren. You seem rather pensive, Siren. Is everything all right?
Yes, Master Siren. What new could have happened in the past few days?
We stand at the crossroads. Allow me to explain something to you, children. The future is never set in stone. There are always variables and possibilities that affect the outcome. It is possible with the correct eyes to view these variables and possibilities. However, there are also certain keystone moments in fate upon which the axis turns. These moments are immutable. They will either go one way or the other, depending upon how fate chooses to weave itself. These are moments that cannot be bypassed.
Lottie
Like-
will flinch at the use of the term keystone.
Like the moments that remain consistent throughout the many tellings of our own history.
Correct. We are fast approaching one of these moments. Beyond that, I can see to it, but I cannot see beyond it. Not now, anyway.
Is that troubling to you?
He'll contemplate. Troubling is not the correct word. It is as if a man who could see all his life is suddenly struck blind.
I guess that's a way of looking at it. I mean, from my perspective over here, not having that ability, it just sounds like things can still swing either way.
Time is a messy
I do
thing.
not know
You
the
only
out-
know what happens until it happens.
I do not know the outcome of this event's history, or how this event will shape history, rather, when it comes. I merely know that it is coming. I do not know if it will go good or if it will go fair or ill, just that it is coming.
Does it have to do with convergence?
The convergence is an element of it. It will begin with the canticles, and we will see from there how fate will turn.
Siren.
Mm.
My question pertains to something a lot closer to home.
You want to know why it is I would protect a technocrat?
Yes, I want to know why you would protect something that which wants to kill everyone we love, that has tormented people we care about.
I'm missing something.
What technocrat?
Apparently someone we thought was a friend of ours, but is indeed a disgusting, vile technocrat. Was betrayed by his own, which can't say I feel sorry, but at the same time it's human, but not. I feel pity for that which suffered. I do not feel pity for him.
That's a shame.
It is a shame to learn that someone you befriended has plotted against you, that you cannot trust, that so vehemently wants you and yours dead. So yes, it really is a shame.
No, I think it's a shame you can't find compassion for him.
What was Siren's reaction to what Lottie said? Because Danielle would have probably paid attention to his expression.
You can perk empathy him if you like. He had no visible reaction.
I would like to perk empathy him.
Okay, if anyone chooses to perk empathy the Siren, they can. He's not going to actually. He's not going to contest it. He just didn't appear to have any physical change of appearance.
At a 7, a 6, and a 6.
Do you have the skill?
Empathy?
Oh, no, empathy's a talent.
Yeah, it's a talent.
Cool.
I have 7 dice for that pool.
Excellent. So yeah, he was
Friend
for a
roll
split
power.
second. Beg your pardon?
Oh, no, just 2 successes.
2 successes? Okay, I was going to set a threshold of 2 on it anyway. For a brief flicker, he looked disappointed in Lottie. Very brief.
She'll just look to Lottie and just say, well, I don't know the guy.
Mr. Edgar Taft.
It's an issue I thought I did. I really thought I did.
Samira, come here. Please.
Looks over.
He will kind of pat his desk, as in to kind of sit on the desk.
Sits in your usual spot.
Okay. I am the same as you are. I am the same as Miss Griffith. I am the same as Minnie. And I am the same as Rashid. And I'm the same as Ashley.
Oh, so she is Ash. That's great to know.
He is the same as you are. He is the same as I am. And he is the same as they are.
Can I talk to him?
Yes, you can. He is somewhere. Out of character, it's actually another PC, so I can't actually like play him. But if he might pop into the hangout, he said. So if you do, yes, you can talk to him. He will look at her, and he will say, from what he was told from the moment he awoke into our world, we are the evil ones. For after all, we had all the power, and we let humanity suffer. Whereas they gave them medicine, education, things that allowed them to live better, happier lives. However, when it was that he himself was faced with the concept of something so monstrous that he simply could not allow it to come to pass, he betrayed everything he believed in to get the information that we needed to us so that we could stop them. He is responsible for making sure the Technocratic Union did not have all of the keystones they needed for this Project Morpheus of theirs. He risked everything for us.
What can I help you find today?
Okay then. I have no clue what you're talking about, but
It is long and complicated, Miss Minnie. I will happily explain it at a later point.
you get a thumbs up.
The point is this for my rage, though, Siren. Yes, these things happened. But for months, he stood with us, he ate bread with us, he endured with us, he fought with us. And yet, all the while, he was communicating with them to betray us. We who bled with him, who suffered with him. And we are to push this aside? Offer him sanctity?
He will shake
I
his
wish
head
there
and
to
he'll
be
say,
justice. He is
can-
that which is a monster.
he
They
communicated.
torment and torture.
He communicated nothing to them. I do not know why it is you believe that, but that is mistaken.
So you mean to tell me that a lone technocrat in this city had no communication whatsoever with the rest, given the fact that there have been a lot of movement from them?
He has sent nothing to them that was meaningful. All the communication he gave was so that he could passate any knowledge as to why he was here. He has sold no secrets and given no truths to them that have damaged us. He wanted
And
to
so we
see if
let the
we
fox
were...
into the henhouse?
And as for why he did not tell us, he thinks that we are the monsters that you would have him be, or he thought that until we came to help him.
He had so many chances to come clean. This...
He did when it mattered.
Yes.
When someone's
And
life was on the line, there were chances
he
beforehand.
is the only reason the Technocratic Union do not have all of their keystones for their project, because he subverted one and sent it to us.
Is that the one that Callie destroyed?
No, I do not believe that was a true keystone. I think that that
Definitely
was
had a
just
lot
them
of souls in
gathering.
it. Definitely had a lot of souls in it, so that's terrifying.
Keystones do not necessarily have ephemera stored in them. They are more like gateways, from what I'm led to understand.
Oh, yeah. Are you guys talking about that big fake emerald that's metal?
Yes.
Okay.
Those are. I never heard of these keystones. Is this the means by which Project Morpheus is?
Yes.
In order for Project Morpheus to succeed, from what it is I've been told, it needs to connect to all of the realms simultaneously, all of the umbral realms, the Shadowlands, etc., in order to draw energy from them in order to fuel the project. Otherwise, it would be too massive an undertaking, even for the Technocratic Union. So each one of these keystones corresponds to a different realm to essentially open a gateway to flood whatever mechanical device will power Project Morpheus, or will sustain Project Morpheus to power it. Are you following me, Miss Griffith?
I'm following you. They're kind of like lenses almost.
Yes.
Focusing energy.
And it was only because Mr. Taft was willing to place his life on the line that he smuggled one of them out.
Technocrats are going to be happy about that.
No, considering they don't possess time to create another one. I'm led to understand each one required at least 10 years worth of their labors.
We'll get on him.
What would you have us do with him then, Master Siren? You are
He will
technically
look
the
at
head.
you and he will look at you and he will put one of his ruined hands on your leg and he'll say, "Do you think that he is a monster?"
I think that he is what could be the worst of humans. Someone who is ignorant to what is around them and then realizing that things are not as what they seem. It is a moment in humanity. I do not think him a monster, but I do not think that I would lay my life to save his, because right now, I do not view him as friend or compatriot.
May I show you something?
You do as you like, Lord Siren. Master Siren.
Hey, look at the others. May I show you all something?
Yes.
I'm always eager to see something new.
I mean, sure, as long as it doesn't destroy my brain or constitution, you know. Standard stuff.
Only if you ask for it. We don't really do that.
The Siren closes his eyes and he starts to sing. And now you see why he's called Siren. The notes are very, very haunting and very, very echoing. Does anyone here speak Enochian?
Let
Not
me
yet.
check the sheet. I think I do. Maybe.
Give me a second. I'm not on your sheet anymore. I'm on a different sheet.
First girl. Yep, she does.
He's basically chanting to open the way and to rip apart the veil of time, basically. So, what you guys will see is the room around you will melt away into nothingness. You'll be essentially falling through darkness for about 3 or 4 seconds until you find your feet again, as all of you are stood on hard laminate flooring, that kind of sterile laminate flooring that you find in hospitals and medical centers. You will hear the beep, beep, beep of a heart monitor. You will see Edgar Taft, those of you who haven't met him, you'll see a man leant over a hospital bed, and you'll see a woman laying in the hospital bed. A woman, you'd guess in her 60s, maybe her late 50s, early 60s. You'll hear the beep, 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 until the beeping stops, to be replaced by the noise of the flat line, the beep. And you will see the man, Edgar, his head will slump, and you will hear him cry thoroughly, thoroughly bitter tears as he clasps the woman's hands in his. Truly, truly tragic tears. Tears of a man who has lost his only truest love. You will be standing there and you will witness this moment, this snippet. A few moments later, the world will return spinning, spinning, spinning until... Sorry, I've been corrected. She apparently only looked to be in her 40s. My apologies. Yes, you will see them. You will then return into his office. He will look at Lottie and he will say, "Monsters do not know how to love. Never forget that."
Kind people turn into monsters every day, Siren. You know this. I will not disgrace your hospitality that you've extended to this person. I hope that his efforts to aid are as fruitful as they seem, and that we can stop the canopsy, and that we can, some means, save those poor souls or stop them from hurting more people. But right now, I can't feel that which you expect me to feel for this situation. I thought myself safe. I thought my best friend safe. I was going to invite him to help her out at the chantry. I was going to open up to this person who deceived us all with a smile to our faces. I can't do that for you, Siren. Not right now. And I'm sorry if that disappoints you. I'm sorry if that's not what you want from your apprentice, but civility of my feelings, I feel enraged, I feel betrayed, I feel hurt. And seeing his pain, yes, I understand the compassion from others, so I understand that monsters cannot feel pain, but his actions that he was taken in compliance with this group, what do I say to this? He is ignorant, he is an innocent bystander. I simply want justice. I can't right now, Siren. Either he or me will write your library card. I have to go home. I have to go home and I have to make sure Eliza is safe. I can't right now, Siren. No, I can't. I need to go. And she's gonna get up, brush his hand away, just walk
Lottie,
away out.
Before you go, can I just say one thing?
What, Danielle?
From what little I've heard about the cult of ecstasy, you guys are all about perspective, from what I've heard.
We are perspective impassioned. I understand the perspective that Siren is trying
Oh.
for. I understand, and I want to feel compassion.
Lottie, can I just
But-
finish?
Yeah.
Have you talked to him after what happened? After this betrayal?
I just learned it. I'm really scared to talk to him. I don't want to do what Sketch did.
She
I
just
wouldn't be able to
shrugs.
forgive myself. I
She
need
just
time.
shrugs.
We're passionate people, and I don't want to
Maybe
do that to Siren.
you don't have to like him. You don't have to forgive him. But it might not be a bad idea to at least talk to him about how you feel. Maybe you both might learn something. Just my
Right
advice.
now, I had someone I wasn't exactly close to come and tell me this in confidence. My own mentor did not, which was concerning because, we've been having communication issues anyway, so hey, I'm going to go. Siren, I'll see you around. I won't do anything to disgrace you. I don't want to be Sketch right now, and I'm going to be put in that situation. I just need to go home. I'll see you later. It's nice meeting you too. She'll just kind of walk away.
For the record, as you turn around, you will basically, as you turn in that split second, when you turn, Siren will be standing directly in front of you. For those of you who are looking, he will actually physically zip out of existence at the chair to be standing directly. You're not exactly sure if he moved incredibly quickly or if he popped himself out of reality and moved over there. He did one or the other. But he will hug Lottie with all of the strength that is in his skeletal frame and like really hold her as tight as he can, which is not very tight. And he will say, "You could never disgrace me."
Can't, Siren, I just... There are very violent sobs coming out of her. They did all of this, and we're to what? I know we can't make an example out of one person because then we'd be just like them. But he did this. We befriended him. Is silence an admission of guilt or ignorance? Concern that we would hurt him as much as his people would hurt him? We owed that? Just can't right now. And yes, I understand giving protection. That's extreme. But I understand. Just don't expect more of which I can offer.
He will.
I'm not a
He will
bloodthirsty
let
person.
you go, and he'll hold you back, like his hand's still on your shoulders, and he'll look into your eyes and he'll say, "Just trying to think, how would he phrase this? To them, we are the monsters. That is their perspective. They think of us, and yes, we've done things that are as terrible as things that they've done. Truth. Many people like to mask it. Many people like to wear the clothes of ignorance while they sit on their moral high horses.
Literally.
They've done things. We've done things. Look, go. I'm not going to keep you here, but I want you to know that to them, we are as bad as they are to us. It is just their perspective."
Every perspective is valid.
But one of them was willing to shatter his perspective when he thought something so monstrous he could not possibly fathom it. He was willing to change everything about his life, willing to step away from the life that he knew, the existence that he valued. Everything thrown to the wind like dust, because he could not allow a monstrous act to happen. I don't want you to think of him as anything that you do not choose to think of him as. However, I also don't want you to make opinions based on lack of knowledge. I think that you should talk to him. I think that you should come to see. I am
I'll do
not
my best.
foolish. Hmm?
do my best.
He will release.
No,
He'll
you're
kind of
not
let
foolish.
his hands fall from your shoulders.
I know you're not foolish. I know you have a plan. I know you're watching him to make sure that he's actually as sincere as a technocrat can be who defected. The march for life, for death. We're really all he has left, aren't we? But it is to be the second choice.
He will look at her and he will
Be
say,
safe, Siren.
"You love Eliza Hoth, don't you?"
She's my best friend. She's family now.
There was a time when she and her entire tradition were technocrats.
I know, Siren, I know. Why do you think I don't want to do anything like Sketch did?
All right, go and gather yourself. We'll talk again when you feel ready.
Talk to your technocrat later. I have to go. Or Moshpits. She'll leave the library crying.
After she gets out of sight, Siren collapses to his hands and knees.
Daniela tries to help him up
Yep.
and try
She
to get
will
him
be
off
there
the
too.
wheelchair.
You'll see the fact that he's bleeding profusely from his nose and one of his left eye.
Okay, that's
boy.
not good.
A use of power like that in my state was unwise.
You'll be all right. Here, you know where all you have any medical supplies?
I'm fine. I just need to sit down.
All right.
For the record, like both of you, he weighs he's about 6 foot tall, and you'd probably guess he's only about 120 pounds.
Yeah,
Like,
Danielle was
he's-
probably expecting him to be heavier, but then she's like, "Oh, this guy's a lot lighter."
As you kind of redeposit him in his chair, you'll see him take out a handkerchief and dab the blood away. And he'll say, "My apologies. Yes. Is there anything I can do for any of you?"
Honestly, I just want to make sure you're all right. And well, now that I think about it, if you're an expert on time, there might be something that I should consult with you about.
I see. What can I do for you, Miss Daniela?
Are you familiar with the C.M. Hawthorne?
Yes, myself and Mr. Hawthorne have worked together in the past.
Well, he found a burnt version of me from the future that crashed not too far from here. And then she just points to her necklace. Had
You
this
forget you're
with
going to point to your necklace.
awesome fucking thing. She'll just say, I'm not really sure about the mechanics of time, but what would the significance be of my own future self coming back and trying to give me... She seems as if she's trying to recall something, but I'm guessing she can't because of the necklace, eh?
He'll half close his eyes and he'll say, "All points in time exist, Miss Daniela. All possible variations thereof also. However, the past, as the past is lived, becomes a fixed point. So it is, you can always identify when the past is the past. Do you understand what I mean?"
Sort of. The only thing that's been confusing me is, how can I be me without being aware that I'm trying to phrase the question right. Was that me? Or is that someone else that's like me? How can I be living as myself in two different places at once? It's confusing me.
You
gonna
are
make me.
you as you are in the moment. And that is you as you were then. You are both the same, but neither of you are you in this particular moment. Or that you are you in this particular moment. That one is not.
She just kind of seems to sewn away what we are as a moment in time.
Think of ourselves as ships, and time is the river or the sea. For those of us who are gifted enough, your ship that has already traveled many miles can turn about face and sail the opposite direction. However, as it does so, it may come across itself once again in the vast ocean of time.
She seems to like because I'm thinking about this. But she has a look on her face of like she's really trying to figure out and puzzle that out because she looks at me and just says, I guess what I'm just trying to figure out is if I'm looking at that ship, that past version of the ship, is the person that I'm looking at the past? Or what am I looking or an image? Am I looking at another conscious me?
It was conscious, I would assume. Essentially, it is your future self who has opted to, through whatever means, come or facsimile itself through the timeline.
She'll kind of lean back in her seat and just kind of digest that. I'll try and puzzle it out. So I guess the moment that I am now, in this very moment, this is me.
Yes. But that is no less you than you are. It is just you from a different point in time.
Then who am I? Or what am I?
You're Daniela Griffith.
She just leans back in her chair and she just kind of looks at the others and goes, and just says, time's funny, eh? Whew. But thanks, Siren.
I do hope that I was able to be of some help.
Hopefully we'll all be okay. Do you think Lottie will be okay?
Yes. I'm quite sure that she will.
Awesome. She looks over to Ashley and says, I didn't quite catch your name.
It's Ash.
Nice to meet you, Ash. Like you heard earlier, I'm Danielle.
Yep.
Oh boy.
I'm actually not as worried about Lottie as I am about Callie.
On a side note, Link, feel free to bumblefuck into the scene.
He doesn't know how to
Yeah,
get into the
perfect
library.
timing.
He doesn't know how to get in the
Perfect timing, Lottie
library.
just
I
left.
should put it, you've been in the library all day. This is where he's keeping you.
Okay, then if you'll allow me to take a little liberty on something.
By all means.
A gray-haired man in a frazzled-looking suit is going to kind of shuffle his way to Siren and hand him a couple of pieces of paper and just kind of mumble, that's what's relevant. And then
You'll
just sit
see.
down.
His eyes will flick. What have you handed him?
He's handed him the relevant information for execution teams and the enforcers that may be sent out here based on his knowledge of munitions out here.
Okay. You'll see his eyes will scan it, and he'll place it down on the table, and he'll
Now,
say,
mind you, it's all in technocratic jargon, but
I never did ask if you would rather me refer to you by... if you would rather me refer to you as Mr. Taft or Mr. What was your last name was Beauregard, wasn't it?
no. His first name is Beauregard. His his real last name is King.
Yes. Would you prefer me to refer to you as Mr. Taft or Mr. King?
You know, I've been Taft for so long. It might be nice to be called what my mother named me.
As you wish, Mr. King. Allow me to do the formal introductions. You've already, of course, met Miss Ashley, or Miss Rashida, rather, and this is Miss Daniela Griffith.
Hi.
Nice to meet you.
He is obviously, like I said, like distraught. He's wary. He's distraught. The image you saw in the hospital of his wife dying. He was probably a good 10-year. Well, I can't say it like that. The way he looked then and the way he looks now, that was probably a good 30 years ago. So, give you an idea of time frame.
Is everything all right? Heard that you had to go through some stuff lately.
I don't know what you know, and it really doesn't matter. All you need to know from me is whoever's leading the group around here threatened to take my wife's soul, and I'm not going to let that happen.
I can relate to that.
Ashley will put her hand on Edgar's shoulder. Don't worry. None of the people here will let that happen if we can stop it.
It hasn't changed any, Miss Ashley. The fact that I'm doing this in my own brain is crazy. I mean, I'm sleeping in the house of the boogeyman, as it were.
Boo. But honestly, is it really that crazy?
Yes, yes, it is. he kind of does that crazy laughter that's halfway scared. Yeah, it is.
Ashley digs around in her purse, pulls out a bag of gummy bears, and offers him one.
I don't eat sugar, but thank you.
You don't eat sugar.
It's bad for me with how old I am.
By choice?
I don't eat sugar by choice. Yes.
You'll see Siren smile. He'll say, "How old are you, Mr. Taft?"
63.
That's nice. I'm 121.
Are you gonna look at him?
He really doesn't look it.
Ashley,
But that's through hoocha.
I've met someone who's centuries years old.
Oh, yes, you have met my father, haven't you?
Met him several times. He's a good guy. She smiles at Siren.
He just shakes his head. I do not know how you were not exploding from backlash as you stand, then.
Who, me?
No, him. The amount of backlash from causing something like that. The consensus shouldn't accept. Well, okay, so I don't claim to be a consensus physicist, but still. And he just kind of looks around like, wait, y'all do use the same term for that, right?
Yes.
Okay. All the terms are different.
It's primarily because of my mastery of Prime I'm able to nullify whatever quintessence my age would generate.
Okay, I've heard of some of the auditors who could utilize the full effects of the primal utility that could do that. That's good to know. Can you also reverse the damage on a dimensional level?
Yes.
Impressive. Good to know. The names are different. That's mostly it. Okay, the names are different.
Oh, everybody has different names for things.
Pretty much, you'll probably find that most people have different terms, but I guess you'll find that there's some kind of common lingua franca, if that's the correct term.
I rather enjoy the Etherite terms for various different things.
Oh, yes, the Electrodyne engineers. Yes.
Electrodyne engineers. Is that what they used to be called?
Yes. Back when they were. Oh, this is very old history, but back when they were part of what is now the Technocracy, yes, they were one of the founding members. Them and I don't claim to know it. We just refer to them all as technomancers. But I believe Iscariot was one of them. Virtual adept, I believe he said.
Cool. What do you call us then?
What are you?
Cult of Ecstasy.
He's going to think for a minute. I believe we just refer to you as primals.
You know, primal fits.
The group I'm, for convenience sake for this conversation, I'm going to say the group I am part of, or when referring to technocratic members, I'm going to use the word we, because if I keep second guessing myself, I'm never going to finish a sentence.
It's okay.
Daniel just smiles.
We, in reference to the guild, the syndicate, classify the traditions as two things. One, as reality deviants, which the short version of that means anything that is a non-normal human and is not a technocrat. Because where you see mysticism, we see science. And I can tell you why everything works that I do, because it's been scientifically proven. But what you guys do, for all I know, you could slaughter a chicken and then, teleport to someplace in Norway from here.
I'm sure somebody could. Not me. But
we refer to you as reality deviants, and we also refer to you as primals, mystics, and technomancers.
I almost like reality deviant better.
It also works really well for the phobophages and hemophages, and the various different shape-shifting beasties and zombies, if you want to get really raw.
Okay. I get hemophages. Phobophages?
I would say people that feed on fear. One moment, IRL.
People that feed on fear. There's people who feed on fear? Did you look at Siren?
Yes, they're called Mafandi.
I've pretty much just, with what I've seen so far, if you can imagine it, it probably exists.
Well, that is not necessarily reality anyone wants to live in, because I have imagined some really weird shit over the years.
Well, I've come to find that through a little bit of meditation and thinking about the concepts of potential and prime, that not necessarily that it exists, it's just that it can. So I guess a better way to put it is anything that you imagine can exist, and with how big I think with how big the dream is, shit's big and infinite, and there can be multiple infinites. Then there's a good chance that it exists. It at least gets you at least. I found the positive aspect of that perspective to be it gets you in a problem-solving mindset.
Man, I don't know. I think I'm in the rabbit hole pretty deep.
Just gets deeper.
Let me know when you get to a point where simultaneously everything is chaos and also an illusion.
I just like to think that I just became lucid in a very strange dream.
Hey, Siren, it's not... Is it cool if I smoke in here?
Yes.
Sorry about that.
Ashley will pull out a cigarette and light it, and she'll pull out one of those really nifty little things that were popular ages ago when people still smoked. Those little ashtrays that you can carry in like your purse.
Mhm.
And set that up. She'll hold out the pack of cigarettes for anyone who wants one.
Oh, thank
Daniela
you.
just shakes her head.
Oh, thank you. It's not good for me.
Ashley nods.
You know what? I kind of guess I need to break the ice a little better. I've never thought about doing this. You've heard of what children do, the whole idea of show you mine and I'll show me yours and I'll show you mine kind of thing.
I know a few ways that goes. Yeah.
Would one of you be willing to show me how you perform an effect, and then I can show you a way I can perform an effect? Completely non-violent, completely non-invasive. Promise, or break my fingers or something.
Daniela just kind of sits for a moment. Well, I mean, I still have some things to learn to kind of do stuff more in the physical. She kind of knocks on the table in the physical parts of the dream. But if you're willing to let me, she kind of ponders for a moment. If you would allow me to influence your mind, I can show you certain things I can do. But I understand it's an uncomfortable prospect, so...
No. I have to show a show of good faith. And one sec, dog. It's all settled. Come here. For reference, for people that know me, this is the boxer who was just being upset.
Boxer.
He says that's fine. Give me a moment to. This is going to sound silly, but can I have a piece of paper and a pen?
She looks in her bag, but she then looks to Siren because she doesn't have anything like that at the moment.
Ashley will dig around in her bag and pull out a small notebook and a pen.
Okay, he will begin writing on it furiously. And if you actually want me to make rolls, Evan, by all means. Basically what he is doing is he is ad hocing a quick release form to release his mind shield for himself, because he has to interpret it this way.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if you feel anything or have the chance to feel anything awareness-wise when a spell is dropped, but when he finishes, he will have dropped his mind shield.
Does anyone have mind sight currently active?
I may. Hold on.
I do not.
Nope.
That's fair. It's like, all right, my consciousness should be probable.
She kind of chuckles at that. Just says, well, just relax and hopefully, I'm just gonna concentrate, she says.
Do I need to make a willpower check to make this a willing effort?
No, you can just count as making it a willing effort.
Okay,
Alright.
he is actually letting this be done. So
So, well, like she gets to do this for the first time. Evan, so I'm targeting his willpower. Because he's letting me in, it's not +3, right?
No, in that case, it just becomes the active arete of the effect. So it'll
So it
become.
just becomes the difficulty of the sphere. Well,
Yeah.
according to the mind section, the target difficulty is usually the target's willpower.
That's only if they're actively resisting you.
Okay. Sweet. So 3 + 3 because it's coincidental. That's diff 6. So she's going to basically be doing crafting a little bit of a kind of cool illusionary effect in her hands.
okay.
So the way I see it, before I was like this, I had really weird dreams, and dreams always felt far more real than I thought they should have been.
Yeah.
One day, I was taking the bus, and she's doing this while closing her eyes. One day while I was on the bus, I had a bit of a realization that I was dreaming. And that eventually one day, if I can change my own thoughts, maybe I could change the thoughts of the dream. But she's going to take two extra turns to do this, as she just kind of closes her eyes, and she seems to be just having her hands in a specific kind of form in front of her. Just they're kind of clasped in a very like almost as if you're kind of making a gesture, as if like a puppet talking, but she's just having them both together in her hands.
Mm-hmm.
She's going to take 2 extra turns, so the diff can go down to 2. I'll spend a willpower so I don't mess with your head. This is let me see the illusion chart here real quick. I want to make this a pretty cool one. With a little bit of thinking and visualization,
Mm-hmm.
you can see what I see. And what you see, 1 second. Feats of illusion, 4 successes. Complex and moving, several sensations. Excellent. She spreads her hands apart and almost kind of encircles them, kind of like you would see in a Doctor Strange movie.
Mm-hmm.
And you will just see what looks to you like space being warped. To the others, it doesn't seem like anything is happening. That space is being warped, and that you see almost like a little miniature black hole in between her hands, and then in a strange sense, you can see space, or like what she imagines space would look like, almost as if for the first time you can see what, when Einstein talks about how space is a physical phenomenon, well, you kind of see that, like kind of this like watery membrane that's kind of around you, and just this kind of cool little warping black hole that just kind of has some electrical currents moving around it.
Wait. You said it kind of looks like space in a black hole?
No. There's a black hole in her hands.
Uh-huh.
That kind of looks like something you would see out of Interstellar, like a
Okay.
wormhole.
Okay.
And that's what's in her hands. But around you, just in general, you kind of see this membraney space. Like you can see the physicality of space.
Yeah, I kind of got that. Evan, do I need to make a stamp check?
Yes.
Okay. Oh, I hope I don't vomit on you. I fail. I don't botch, but I do fail.
There's vomit.
Oh, she stops the effect immediately.
and he kind of motions like for a bag or a bucket or something.
Ugh.
And he's got that pleading look on his face.
Ashley will grab a bucket for him.
That wasn't your fault. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I don't do good with trans relocation at all.
It's sorry about that. I shouldn't have probably done something a little bit too extreme to start with.
That's okay. My question I have is what did you how did mentally what did you think of that as?
I just visualized what you saw and did specific gestures that I learned to use through experimentation.
Okay, that makes sense. So I'll show you this then.
Sorry, should I just pat you on the back and just kind of give you some tissues? Didn't mean to make you sick.
Every time I trans relocate or something like it, I have to fight it. I'm amazed I didn't puke when we got teleported into the pub the other night.
What do you mean by trans relocate?
Teleportation?
You weren't teleporting.
But you showed me the visions that you see inside space. And I'm taking a liberty here, Evan. If you want me to say it, that's fine. I've been up to a void engineer ship once or twice, and you get to see that as you warp through.
Pretty much.
Yeah, it's not a kind thing. Don't get me wrong. They apparently are dealing with something very I don't know what it is. Something called threat null. I don't know. But apparently he goes off on a mini tangent where he's mumbling about expenses that don't add up. But it's like, all right. He's going to reach around his pocket. He's going to pull out a silver dollar. All right. So this is a really silly question. This is a regular silver dollar. There's nothing special about it. I use it for my adjustments, but that's it.
Okay.
If you want to examine it, by all means. If you want to view it, and he does quotation marks with his fingers, you can do it. It's fine. It won't hurt you, to my knowledge. I would say, Siren, that if you want to view it through the relocation of history, by all means. But I heard what happened earlier, and I don't want you getting sick again.
I'm quite fine. Thank you for asking.
Okay. So, at this point, again, with actually, no, his coin does work as a focus, but I'm also going to use a different one. He's actually going to use his since he doesn't have his briefcase, he's going to use the notepad and pen, and he is going to consecrate it via primal utility. And quite literally, I will take extended actions to do this if he needs to. Quite literally, as he is doing this, he is writing out almost like a... I don't know if any of you guys have law to know what this is, but what it is, if you do, is he's writing himself out a requisition form, but he's writing it to himself. And I will make the little lovely rolls because yay rolls. And this is fast casting. However, I'm using a focus. So yeah, it should be just a 4. He is not spending any quint or willpower at this point. That's a single success. However, I will continue the effect so it doesn't just blip for a moment. So +1 diff to diff 5. That is a failure. Do I need to cancel the effect and try again, or how does that work if you fail when trying to continue it, Evan?
As long as you don't botch, you just roll again with the +1 difficulty for the collective cumulative.
Okay, so this should be
multicast.
diff 6 then.
Mhm.
And that's what I needed. So I got a single success into actually doing the effect, since he's just consecrating it with his energy, and 2 successes into duration. And he's going to say, now take a look at it, preferably with the viewing of primal energies, if you can.
She'll kind of she'll kind of put her 2 fingers on her temples and kind of rub them as if she's almost adjusting a dial. And I'm going to use Tune in Raw Thought, Evan. Am I right?
Mm-hmm.
That's 2 into duration. And she'll look at the coin. And I'll wait for Ashley if she wants to cast Prime.
No, Ashley is watching all of this with some intent. And she's got some low music playing on her phone. Her hands, though, are moving almost like trying to feel out currents of energy in the room.
Mm-hmm.
And I will go ahead and roll for this. Woohoo! 3 successes for Prime Sight.
You pumping 1 into the effect, or what are you doing?
1 into the effect and 2 into duration.
Cool. Well, it's definitely charged with Prime. I've never known how it actually looks, Evan. But so if you want to describe that, by all means, please.
Consecrated item.
Mm-hmm.
It flickers with primal energy.
Cool.
And
And
it has a little bit of his resonance in it too.
Mm-hmm. I'm sorry for the record. It's like 7 o'clock in the morning, so Evan's brain is checking out slowly.
it's okay. He is then going to show you the note. Let's go. This is how it's done. And he will actually walk them through the requisition form he did and effectively describe the potential loss effects that are the negative effects, i.e. backlash, since that's the only one that could potentially happen. Or reality readjustments, as he may refer to it as. And the pros listed as being a positive value in communal relations with those around him, and yada, yada, yada. That's how I did it. It's right there, black and white.
Huh. Fascinating.
It's almost like you're, I guess the way to look at it is like you're giving the coin its own value.
I'm increasing the coin's value at a minor potential loss to myself of time, and increasing the potential value of the relations to you all to understand what's going on. So yeah, life is all positive and negative values.
That actually makes a lot of sense. Kind of like I know there are a lot of I forgot which field in science is like that, but some individuals like to think that reality is almost like a big economy.
That's all life is. Energy is never completely gone. It's just transferred. It's just sometimes more effectively than not. The almost the entirety of the guild, the syndicate, works this way. Not everyone, but a large portion of it, from my understanding. You, Miss Ashley, and I apologize, I don't properly know your name.
Daniela.
Daniela. Here's the thing that frightens me most about groups like you all. Most of you want me, and he's saying this with quotation marks, and those like me gone, from my understanding, simply because of what we are. And for me, do you know what that is, Miss Daniela?
Well, what is that?
I was an accountant. I signed people's paychecks. I was human resources. I funded a few projects, mostly medical. I was never a field agent. I wasn't even given basic training.
That explains your particular brand of help that night.
Yeah, I was given a few project heads, as it were, to fund. One of them was munitions. Just I got assigned. So yeah, I know a lot, at least in theory, about the equipment that's used. Not so much utility, but weapons. Yeah, I know them, at least by name and what they can do theoretically. And I know what kind of team might carry them.
Well, for the record, I don't want to. If possible, I don't want anyone to be quote unquote gone. I just don't want people to hurt each other.
Well, believe it or not, that's kind of the mantra of the Union too. It's not about hurting people, it's about raising up humanity.
If I had my way, and I admit this is probably rather selfish of me, if I had my way, the technocracy would never have had as much power as it does.
Well, as far as I understand, I mean, I'm coming up with some theories, but I'm still practicing, but, I could step sideways right into the dream, or I could, do what you just did, but just my thought alone. But according to the technocracy, or at least I'm not sure who to blame, the technocracy, the consensus, but I can't do that without Paradox coming up my way.
It at least in the West, it was shortly from. Actually, no. You know what? I'm gonna make a check on this. I mean, I know it IRL, but I will make a check on it. I still have that lovely +1 intellect, so yay. So yeah, I can definitely know that. 1, 2, 3, 5 successes. Oh yeah. Correct me if I'm wrong, Evan. I know your brain's not all the way there, but by and large, the consensus didn't start disavowing magic until the rise of the Catholic Church.
No, it started to buck against the consensus during the Renaissance. It started to buck against magic primarily. They started to feel it around the turn of the first millennium. However, it didn't become palpable until the Renaissance.
Relating information of what just was said. That's really when it started, and at that time, it's hard. There are records, but they're hard to find. that time, we were concerned with stopping monsters from devouring townspeople. We were concerned with being able to actually, convince people that the ability to do math and read wasn't sorcery.
Guess that's fair. I guess it just sucks that, some people just would like to fly. But
Yeah, it
That's what it
does. It does. Can't change. That's the wrong way to think about it. Humanity won't change by itself. That's the best way to put it. And certain concessions have to be made. With the rise of people understanding the world around them, that's what you can put the blame on. Is understanding things like gravity, understanding, that it's not some deific figure that gives us light and warmth. It's a star. Those are the kind of things that really change the consensus.
She leans back. To be fair, though, you guys made astrophysics pretty cool.
Not my field. It's a little over my head. I work a lot with numbers, to be completely honest. Like I said, it's my life. I mean, for Pete's sake, I was an auditor for the IRS in the United States.
Understanding it's not a deific figure that gives us warmth and light, but a star. That's interesting.
That's just a good way I can put it, to be honest.
Yeah, and then it actually.
On the bright side, it did eliminate several nasties from hurting humanity by and large. I mean, could you imagine if dragons were still in this reality by and large?
Never met one. I can't say.
I wouldn't want to, from what little I've heard.
Well, that's the one thing, is history's written by the victors. But then again, humanity seems to have made dragons a kind of meta-predator. So
they're always going to exist because people believe in their stories. It doesn't mean they believe that they exist right now.
I guess the biggest thing is, while that has done a lot, I just noticed that there are a lot of people out there who don't always function or fit the best within the current way the consensus works, and it's just a shame.
No, it doesn't. From my understanding, though, for what it's worth, the consensus doesn't seem to matter so much once you go out past Jupiter.
I wouldn't know. I still have much to learn.
Well, you know that now.
That's the shame about the technocracy. Beauregard, that for all the good you've done, you've still created a world that favors
Safety over wonder?
no.
She's
No.
not wrong, though.
It that's not what I was thinking. It favors certain types of people. People that don't naturally fit into the mold, that go against the grain or don't fit in.
You're right. Completely. It's about raising up humanity as a whole, not the individual.
Right. And that led to the creation of a world that favors conformity for the sake of conformity.
And I guess the unfortunate shame is I guess, yes, there's we can talk humanity as a big thing, but when you kind of look at the past, a lot of people have been left behind.
They have. They have. It's. I don't claim to be a history expert or a rationalist in the minds of how humanity and the consensus works, but I would like to think humanity as a whole, in many ways, is better off than it's ever been, or has a better chance to be better off than it has ever been.
Well, according to the recent statistics, that's not wrong. I suppose she kind of thinks for a moment. There may be a step we have to take, regardless of technocracy or traditions, where somehow the whole and the individual have to fit together somehow.
That's. Go ahead, please.
I think if you want to truly uplift humanity, you need to change the way humans think.
I would have gladly changed humanity to not rely on those blasted computers so much.
So they naturally are inclined to uplift each other instead of tearing each other down. And then humanity can uplift itself. They won't need people to give them medicine or technology or anything else to accomplish that uplifting.
I want to change that, or at least add a comment to that. Maybe it's not that we need to change the way people think, but just encourage them to think and ask questions more.
It'd be nice. Like I said, I blame the damn computers.
Well, computers in a way, at least from my perspective, they've been a cool way for me. They've been a bit of assistance for me since not too long from now. I had a lot of memory and cognitive issues. They've been you can access all of human knowledge on your phone. More than ever before, people are interconnected and can share each other's perspectives. Heck, if I didn't have the internet, there were several friends that I would have never met, and I still chat with them to this day.
I can see that, and I completely understand that. I just hate the damn things. They never work right.
She chuckles. Well, if you ever want to... I'm learning more and more about computers. If you ever want some pointers, and she shrugs.
So I have the proper face to show for this, and I am so sorry about this. I am so sorry. Where is it? Damned, where'd it go? There it is.
Fair.
It's coming now. I apologize in advance for when it actually fucking loads. Like, no, that's okay. Nope. I don't need another one exploding and being set on fire for me pressing the enter button.
She shakes her head. She kind of tilts her head.
What?
What?
I don't need another one being set on fire, okay?
Oh, all right. Do you have some sort of curse that technology around you just malfunctions to the point where it becomes unusable?
No, my typewriter works amazingly.
I'm talking about silicone-based transistor computers.
Hold on. You actually have a working typewriter?
Yes, Evan?
On a side note, I just want to say, hey, Tim.
Hey, Tim.
Hi, Tim. Yeah, no, I have this. It's off right now, but I have this. And he points down, and he actually shows a beeper. Works fine.
Just so I can get Tim into the scene. They are currently in Siren's office in the library.
Ashley will look at the beeper. Damn, I thought only drug dealers and doctors carried these still.
Well, you know, they were rather accommodating for me back at the home office because, well, I don't make mistakes and I remember everything.
So they got you one.
Exactly. Well, they kind of had to when I saved them, 2% on the annual hedge fund.
Well, till they show you a Nokia.
I actually have to check his sheet. I think he has one.
Hang on. But yes, Tim, if you want to join us, just now is a good time. So, well,
Let us know, Evan, if you're too tired, man. Are you sure you don't want to?
No, it's fine. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
It's like no. I have one of them. It flips open. It has just the numbers. I can see who's calling and whatnot. I just don't like the damn thing. For Pete's sake, I don't even have an email address. Well, not one's used.
That really puzzles her. Like, how do you? Like, I guess like it's like that look of a young whippersnapper that can't understand the idea of someone.
It looks at you. It's like, look, there's a lot of things that can be done with a handshake and a face. That's how I met that billionaire that's in the city with what was I believe her name was Sam.
Yes.
Oh,
speak of the devil and she will appear.
I did not write a requisition for that. I did not do that.
Sam! She like put out a hand for a fist bump.
Sam returns the fist bump.
Excellent. Danielle seems pleased.
So hi.
Hello.
Does she know yet, Siren? Evan, he was asking Siren, does Sam know yet?
Just give me 1 second.
Sure, bud.
Sure. I like this.
Sorry, what were you asking me? Sorry, somebody was asking me about breakfast.
Does Sam know about Edgar yet?
I don't know.
Like, has anything gone out through from Siren? I mean,
no.
Edgar will make his way to the opposite side of a table and just kind of, sit back for a minute.
Ashley perks up from where she's been lounging in the chair she's sitting in. She'll pick up another cigarette, light it. And she keeps an eye on Beauregard over there.
So, Sam, how have you been? And by the way, Sam, she looks a lot like Danielle for the first time. Like, she's not squinting and seems kind of spacious. She seems almost like very present in the moment, more so than you've ever seen her.
Yeah, no, Sam. Straight across. Good day, Danielle.
What's up?
Nothing. I'll ask you. Anyway,
Fair enough.
You're doing pretty good.
We've just been talking about the consensus and magic and the technocracy and how we do what we do with Edgar and Ashley over here.
Oh, okay.
Ashley will hold a hand out to Sam. Nice to meet you. I'm Ash.
Oh, hey Ash. My name's Sam. Although I think that was already.
Sam was with me when we met an interesting Mr. Soul the other day. Quite a very rich man.
You met who, sir?
An individual named Soul.
This was not one of my NPCs. Cool.
Nope,
No, it was one of mine.
There we go.
Oh, I know Soul.
Yes, he was quite the well, like I said, quite the rich man. If I had to equate how
What was that?
I didn't mean to interrupt you, but
Adam.
Heather, did I know that he was rich?
No, you didn't. You knew he owned a hotel.
he if I had to equate him to someone, Lord, who would the kids know these days? Let's see. I would probably equate him to one Mr. Bruce Wayne.
Really?
Daniela just looks really surprised. Like, really now?
Yes, yes. I mean, mind you, Bruce Wayne is fictional, but still, he was that rich. And the lady friend beside him was richer.
Huh.
Oh, see, I love that rote.
You were able to tell just by looking how rich they were?
Yes. It's quite simple. You learn to pick up social cues. You may not realize it, but based on facial expression, talking patterns, body language, and relevant hand scarring and fingernail matters, as well as whether or not nose hairs are trimmed if you have them, and how well you're taken care of. You can gauge how well off someone is.
That actually makes sense.
It even works, at least when I do it, when people are trying to disguise it. Because the
Intriguing.
disguise in and of itself is a showing of your ability to have what you have. I likely couldn't do it if I couldn't see the person face to face, and I likely couldn't do it if they were covered in mud and couldn't see anything about them. But yeah, as long as I can see you pretty much, yeah, I can do it.
So how much would you guess I'm worth?
Okay, you're gonna make him pull his proverbial cock out and show you. Okay.
Mostly she's curious to see how accurate this is.
I will drop the intelligence effect this time. And he will, after having explained this, that would be counting as one of his tools. This is a rote for him, so this is difficulty 3. Yay. I fail, however, so I'm just going to restart it as he just readjusts his glasses. Like, that's better. That's better. 1 and 2, as it were. How much resources does she have, Heather?
Resources 2.
Resources 2. You probably have about $500 to $1,000 in savings. You can go out and buy a new phone when you need to, but you can't do it very often. And you probably can only afford about a 2-bedroom apartment at best. But you probably own a car.
Now that is a very interesting trick.
Rad.
Turn and look at the new voice. How rich is this person, Evan?
Resources 30.
What?
100%. That is immediately what you perceive. He is a quadrillionaire.
Okay, I am quite literally, that is incomprehensible to him. And for all intents and purposes, I'm going to make a stamina check not to pass the fuck out. I think that's relevant.
I know that we were talking about what level T'Challa is. I think he's like 3 or 4 points over T'Challa.
No. T'Challa realistically is resources 10. But anyway, I fail. I'm going to say I pass out for at least 10 rounds.
Just say,
Yeah, no, Sam's going to just rush over and catch him and be like, oh, shit. Are you okay, buddy?
My. Always someone who looks at the fiscal wealth. Oh, well.
Ashley raises an eyebrow at this newcomer.
Many of you will see a priest simply walk into the room.
Add a character, Evan. Did
And all that shit.
Did what? Adam?
did Calverne, was Mateo cool with people calling him just Mateo?
He didn't seem to care.
I just say, hey, hello, Mateo. Come by at an interesting time.
You'll see his eyes fix on your necklace for a moment, and his eyebrow will cock, but he won't say anything. And then you forget that he does it.
Fuck. And they can't increase the mind shield because I'll forget to do it.
Yep, there you go. You're back. I'm just glad you didn't hit your head.
Okay. Not looking at him. Not looking at him. Not looking at him.
I apologize, Mr.
Dropped.
I apologize, Mr. King. My joke was in bad taste.
Oh, I did turn that off. Okay. Okay.
He will. The priest will walk over and he will extend his hand. It is a pleasure to make your acquaintance. My name is Archbishop Matteo de Calvorne.
Shake up and down without looking.
Make me an intelligence technocracy lore test.
Fucking, I dropped the intelligence one too, so this is just 6. Luckily, it's at diff 5 though.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Nelly, 4 successes.
Matteo de Calvorne is an Alpha Plus target for the Technocratic Union. They have wanted him dead for at least 200 years.
He's just going to he's going to mouth something. He's not going to say it out loud, but what he's mouthing for anyone that can lip read is priority 0.
I'm like right next to him because I was taking care of him. I don't have lip reading skill, but can I get a roll to like know what he was?
It's just what +1 difficulty if you don't have the skill.
Yeah, it's just a straight int roll +1 def.
All right, fair enough.
Because I think lip reading is a skill.
Mhm.
Yeah, so it just increases the diff by +1.
Yeah, lip reading is a skill. Sign language is what I would argue is a knowledge or a language, therefore.
Oh shit! There's a single. So I don't know what y'all want to give me for a single.
You'll get the first word of it.
Priority.
Okay. She's not going to call it out, mostly because, well, I mean, at this point, he's more of a patient than anything else, considering he just fucking passed out.
Danielle just simply looks between Mateo and the technocrat.
It is agreeable to see you again, Miss Guthrie. I assume that you're well.
I am, well, doing, at least, your grace.
You will see, for the record, does anyone have Mind Sight active?
Nope. But, yeah, nope.
You do you, Adam?
Nope, I do not.
Does anyone have Prime Sight active?
I do.
I do.
Matteo and Siren lock eyes, and there's a stream of prime energy that goes between them. If you guys want to, you've got prime sight, so you can actually tell what it is. They dilated time and had an entire. They dilated time in the space of less than a second. Actually, an hour and a half passed between them.
She'll just kind of say. She'll kind of just have like a really impressed look on her face.
You assume that they wanted a private conversation.
She doesn't probe. So, what brings you here?
I have returned to Dublin in order to see to the final push against the Canticles of Lamentation. Simple. He will put a hand on Samira's shoulder and he'll say, because certain people had the wisdom in order to pull me back from a very dark abyss.
Well, in that case, I'm glad they had the wisdom to do so.
Evan, was this the priest that left his post?
Yes.
Yeah, this is the one that quit his job without providing 2 weeks' notice.
I know, and...
Roll me a willpower check.
I know.
Difficulty 8.
Danielle just, she'll just say, well, it's good to have you back. I was really worried about you.
I get a single success.
Okay. You don't immediately flip your ship, but you should tell him what he did.
Oh, I might, but he's going to time it. And actually, to the point, I'm going to make an entropy roll to know when the best time to say it is. And I have it as a rote, so yay. Oh, baby. I got a 10, so I get it.
The answer to that, when would the best time to say that to him would be is never.
Yeah, good to know. Good to know. It doesn't mean I don't want to say it, though.
I was going to say, and then it was that I had to give someone a flaw on their sheet that I had banned when they got the immortal enemy flaw.
I mean, it could be worse. He could have been a sorcerer with the mortal enemy, and he could have also been an infernalist.
And he could have also been but we're just digging shit. Moving on.
Yeah, it's bad enough I'm effectively
He
on the
could have
red
had
list now.
demonic
Come on.
investments.
Count your blessings for that 10. Count them
Okay,
10 times.
healthy doses.
He will look between you all, and he will say, "Indeed, it is time to bring the chorus back together again and rebuild from the ashes."
In kind of a gritted teeth kind of thing, he would just say, "Please check on Rabbi Shmuel."
The rabbi is quite well. He and I had dinner this evening.
Good. He was almost a victim of an execution team.
Oh. He will say, "I personally would pity the executioner team. Rabbi Shmuel is not a man to be taken lightly, though he does make an excellent brisket."
Seriously,
Oi.
you'll say.
Oi.
Yes. I do not know what will happen in the next few days. However, I know that we stand upon the crux of a moment in history. We shall have to see in what way the cards will fall.
Definitely. Hopefully we can get those prisoners out safe. And
I have a really weird question for Sam.
What's up?
Sam, what did you ever do with those prayer beads?
She hasn't gotten rid of them. She's still hanging on to them. She just hasn't seen Sideshow to bring them back.
Okay, so you don't like carry them on your person or anything grandiose, no?
Doesn't seem that way.
My sound's back. Sorry about that, guys.
I said, okay, so you don't like carry them with you in a backpack or anything, do you?
Nightingale specifically said keep them safe, so she's keeping them safe.
Okay. I said I'd ask. So they're not on you.
I mean, I figured once you scanned it with like everything, she'd probably like have them.
Okay.
We could go incredibly badly. We'll see how it goes.
I was just curious. De Calvernet will look at the collection, and he will say, "Already so many mages have arrived in the city in order to help us excise this cancer from our order. I must thank all of you who will take part in what is to come, and I must apologize to all of you that it is necessary for such conflict."
seems to be the way it is for now. Hopefully that can change for the better.
Yes.
How many mages have come?
I had a conversation about this earlier. So far, along with the normal contingent of awakened peoples who normally populate this city, there are 100 or more who have arrived in order to see to the final end of the Canticles of Lamentation and the freeing of their prisoners.
That's gonna be a big fight.
Yes. Yes, it is. He'll smile. Maybe they will see reason.
Well, hope we all will soon.
I shall pray.
Do me a favor, Padre. Say one for me, too.
He will look down at Edgar and he will say, "My son informs me that you're a good man, Mr. Taft."
I'm just trying to be one. I don't know if I'm there yet.
The technocracy are not necessarily your future, though they are your past.
Yeah. Either way, good to have you back on the job.
He will place a hand on your shoulder. His resonance is incredibly reassuring. It's like, not like a parent, but like a kind of almost like a warmth that just surges out of him into you as he puts his hand on your shoulder. And you feel in that moment as though anything is possible.
He just kind of smiles and nods.
Danielle smirks.
You mind if I come to you for confession when this is all over, Padre?
I would be delighted to hear it, Mr. Taft. Or would you prefer Mr. King?
I think King's going to be who I am again.
I would be delighted to hear your confession when this is said and done, Mr. King.
I hope you're going to enjoy a long, boring one then.
Well, if you remember the definition of... Looked up the definition of mage the other day. Apparently, it used to mean priest king of some sort.
Magi, yes.
Mm-hmm. So, she looks at Mr. King. It's very fitting.
You will then see the two of them exchange another glance. There's another time dilation. This one's only a couple of about 20 seconds or 30 seconds or so. But then the bishop uncharacteristically bursts out laughing. I'm not going to do the really boisterous laugh he does. But he laughs. He looks at Beauregard and he says, "And you thought 62 was old?"
Well, yes. Why wouldn't I? Average lifespan's only about 75.
I was born in the year of our Lord 1162.
He's going to say the exact same thing that he said to Siren. How are you not backlashed into oblivion?
He will lean in and whisper, "It's something to do with the fact that my tradition is known to be the seat of Prime."
And he's just going to kind of mutter to himself, like kind of in response, but no, he's just going to say, "That is kind of my specialty." Good luck.
Miss Cartre,
Yes.
I was reading the newspaper. I was led to understand that the Smiling Jack incident had been dealt with.
He was. That is. It is.
Miss Templehoff is still secured in the country estate in the south. I've made sure of that. So my question is, what has happened?
If you were to ask me, I'm guessing one of two things. Either there's a copycat around, or Templehoff Sr. had a backup unit that was running on his own.
What? He kind of looks down and he contemplates for a moment. He says, "I had assumed that most of Templehoff's equipment and object d'art were destroyed in the fire. That mightn't have necessarily been the case."
Maybe there's something funky with time going on.
I haven't sensed any temporal phenomenon.
What could it be then?
I assume that you intend to look into this matter anyway, Miss Cartry.
Yeah, other than the problems that face our city, this one is a personal for me.
I'm not saying that it is not a high priority. Any individual who takes a life does not have the right to do so. However, we are currently dealing with a very large-scale issue, so this is why I've not looked into the matter and probably not have the time to do so, but I have faith in your ability to find your way to the bottom of it.
Thank you.
Did not our Lord even say there's a time to heal and a time to kill?
Let he who is without sin, Mr. King, cast the first stone.
Like, Sam just gonna look at Edgar like she's never heard anybody sum up her tradition that easily, that well, in one sentence, like ever.
Anyway, I think I'm gonna still have Danielle here chatting and do stuff within the library, but it's getting pretty late, guys. I'm gonna head to bed.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think that we'll call the scene here. Because
Yeah, this is a good place to call it.
In that case, thank you, players, for playing. Thank you, watchers, for watching. This has been another scene in Darkness in Dublin. Have a pleasant evening.